SCP-32 is controlled by a non-biological, internal computer, the contents of which are mostly inaccessible without risk of damaging SCP-32. SCP-32 is capable of controlled emissions of radiation, including heat, light, and anomalous radiation types. SCP-32 contains an internal power source of an anomalous nature, which appears to have been losing power since several centuries before discovery. It is considered probable that SCP-32 was created for the purpose of containing SCP-31. Partially interpreted data recovered from SCP-32 may refer to a past end or potential future Alkaid-class restructuring event caused by SCP-31. SCP-3 was located by Remote Viewing Team CV for Beta. It appears possible that CV for Beta was deliberately contacted by SCP-32. Other organizations have also been alerted to SCP-3's existence, possibly by similar means. Despite this activity, SCP-32 does not appear to be sentient, based on its lack of reaction to M3 Gloria analysis and procedures. When SCP-3 drops below the temperature of 35 C, both components react. First, SCP-31 enters a growth state characterized by an exponential increase in mass. This growth state consists of two stages. In both stages, SCP-31 partially fuels its growth by converting matter around it, starting with any surrounding inorganic material, including atmospheric elements, then non-living organic material, including cells of dead skin, hair, chitin, enamel, keratin, and other biological materials. The first stage is always the same. SCP-31 will first increase its mass, then take a form similar in shape to an ophiroid brittle star, of 15 meters in diameter, including what appears to be a central processor of 3 meters in diameter. It will form sensory organs that appear to scan its surrounding environment and will partially convert the area around it to an unidentified anomalous substance. SCP-32 seems immune from conversion. The second stage describes a growth alteration which occurs when SCP-3 comes into contact with living organic material. SCP-3 appears to template itself off of the organic material and will attempt communication with organisms that match its initial template or templates. In its second stage, SCP-31 may pause, slow or change its growth, and will also convert inorganic and non-living organic elements into functionally similar structures while anomalously altering their physical makeup. While growth is consistent in the first stage, in the second stage, SCP-31's growth rate is diminished by 2090 so long as SCP-31 remains in contact with living organic material. The percentage is determined by the complexity of the organism in contact with SCP-31. SCP-31 appeers to devote a large amount of processing power to analysis of living organic material. During each of SCP-31's growth stages, SCP-32 releases bursts of radiation that temporarily inhibit SCP-31's growth, or reverse this growth when the temperature of SCP-31 rises above 100 C. Similar radiation emissions have been replicated or recorded via other anomalous means. SCP-31's biology has been the subject of extensive study. Significant elements have been identified similar to SCP-1512 and SCP-2756, the latter two of which have no further confirmed connection with SCP-31 and no known connection with each other, and none of which are fully understood technically, even less understood than SCP-3, thanks to the extensive cross-disciplinary research on the SCP-3 objects to date. No convincing analysis has been put forward which satisfactorily explains SCP-031's connection to these CP objects or others, nor its connection to modern technology beyond appearance and potential mimicry via unknown mechanism. Addendum 301. Acting on information gathered from linguistic analysis of SCP-32's runes and comparative data analysis, Research Team M3 Gloria has managed to establish a link between CP3 and data expunged for analysis of functions. CP-31 must now be considered sentient and is to be kept a minimum of 1 cam from data expunged and the resulting byproduct at all times. Addendum 302. CP-32's power loss has been exacerbated by the procedures performed by M3 Gloria. On orders of O510, M3 Gloria will continue procedures. Addendum 303. During M3 Gloria procedures, CP-31 doubled its mass and began rapid structural growth. Temperature was immediately returned to 100 C. Growth and mass increase of CP-31 continued for 9 minutes and 6 seconds, at which time a sustained radiation spike was produced by CP-32. In response, CP-31 returned to its normal state in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. New growth dissolved into a dusty residue which was collected for analysis. Both CP-31 and CP-32 ceased all detectable activity. CP-32 did not resume activity until connected to external power source. CP-32's runes glowed uniformly gray and did not resume normal activity for 3 hours. CP-32 no longer appears to be able to armly gray and did not resume normal activity for 3 hours. CP-32 no longer appears to be able to maintain containment area at a temperature above 35 C without external power supplied by generators 3E through X. Addendum 304. The procedure detailed in Addendum 303 was repeated, and CP-31 again entered a growth state. After 10 minutes and 13 seconds, CP-32 once again produced a sustained radiation spike. CP-31's growth stopped for 36 seconds, then resumed at its previous pace. On quadrupling its mass, CP-31 formed a coherent outer shell and body. After appearing to scan its environment and partially converting its environment, CP-31 then breached containment, entering the observation gallery where 9 members of M3 Gloria were present. On physical contact with team members, CP-31 encompassed them in rapidly grown appendages and stopped growth for 15 minutes. CP-31 then resumed growth and rearranged the component parts of the center of its form to the shape of a 3-meter-tall female humanoid, with peripheral tentacles shifting to extrude primarily from CP-31's newly formed hair and spine. CP-31 then produced rudimentary vocalizations in an apparent initial attempt to communicate with researchers. Data expunged. An unknown individual approached the compromised containment area in company of a full squad of agents. The individual claimed to be acting on orders of O510 and attempted communication with CP-31. Data expunged. Following this incident, Agent Jackson of M3 Gloria successfully restored power to CP-32 and activated backup generators to return the temperature to 100 C. CP-31 returned to its normal state in 21 minutes and 7 seconds and was successfully ray-contained without incident. All 9 members of M3 Gloria affected by CP-31 were afterwards found to be physically unharmed, with no residual effects besides psychological trauma. The converted materials of CP-3 as former containment area did not dissolve and are now under analysis. Addendum 305. In light of the previous incident, O510 was removed from the O5 Council by joint decision of O5 Data Expunge, O5 Data Expunge, and O5M Data Expunge. 3 Gloria procedures have been indefinitely suspended.